Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today we're back with another episode of the Not So Berry Challenge. Hi guys, we are back with Rosie, and we have officially moved in with Guy. I wasn't sure whether or not this was a good idea or not. After getting engaged to him, it was only natural that the next step would be to move in. When Guy asked her to come and live with him, she told herself that she would say yes, but that she had to tell him that he was the father before they moved in so that they could start a new transparent life together, start fresh without secrets, without keeping things from each other, and you can really trust and build on this relationship, something she felt like she didn't necessarily have with with any of her other boyfriends. Things took a different turn, and she ended up really not saying much. She didn't really talk about Goldie. She didn't mention Goldie at all, and yeah, I think she's been procrastinating. She's been putting it off, and I think it's because she's scared. If she's going to tell him this big old thing that she's been hiding for a couple of years, then there's a good chance he's going to be upset. And it would be valid. She can't tell him not to be upset because he has all the rights to be upset. It's definitely something you would be upset about. She made him feel bad. She would feel sad and upset and hurt that she did that to him because she really cares about him so much. Like, she's never cared about a person so much. I just really don't want her to hurt him like that, and it just feels like it's inevitable. She is going to hurt him because how would they not be hurt? I just don't foresee any other reaction. How would you feel? Like, I think it's only natural that you would be pretty upset. Would you not tell, your fiance this before accepting a proposal, or why would you not tell your fiance this before you move in? It feels like every time she takes another step, she promises herself and, kind of promises him that she is going to tell him, but she never ends up actually doing it. And yeah, it's we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Oh, she didn't make food for him. We'll just say that she made this one. Oh, he's already coming here to eat it. She called him over and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want some as well? You can have mine. I'll just quickly, make myself another batch. I just have some leftovers, so I'm just gonna quickly grab together and he's had a really long day. He's been working as a musician, and he is, I guess, technically a rock star, but he is very versatile. He can sing, he can play guitar, and it's kind of funny because Rosie has been having these ones, and now she doesn't have them anymore. But she used to have ones. I think I saw this in the last episode where she wanted to play the drums and stuff like that, but she never really did. And now we have the opportunity to do the drums, and I'm like, it's actually just so nice. Also, this house is very yellow and brown inspired. It was a bit of an ode to the next gen without actually being the next gen's house. I just think these two would be like all over each other. Like, they've been holding back for years, and now they're freely able to express themselves. And I don't think she would. I don't think she would show him that she is worried, that there's things on her mind. I think she's definitely keeping it to herself and doing her best to just act normal. But when he is, at work, that's kind of like when she thinks and worries the most. Because for the most part, like, when he's here, she's not that bothered because she's constantly like thinking about him and just so happy to be with him, and they're doing things together. And she is still running the business, and your dog is scaring my cat. To get back to the story, it's really easy for her to not think about the elephant in the room because she's constantly busy. And what I love so much is that they're spending so much time together. They're always together. They're either eating together or drinking and talking about everything and anything. And he's done such a good job to welcome her into his house. And I think the choice was pretty clear. He was the one that was going to invite her over into his house because he is the one, after all, that has a bigger house, that has, I wouldn't say he has a better career than her, but he definitely has more space. And I think that she could use this space over this little space that she has. It's not like she really had to give up much, but if he had to give up all of this to move in with her, it would have been it would have been more difficult. But at the same time, if they found a new house together, that would also be just a lot of extra effort, and it just seems so much easier to just for her to just live with him. And I keep saying just and to just. I think that's my new stop word. I can't believe that she's finally here, and as part of the rules, we're not able to marry him, so we're gonna have to wait for us to be an elder before we can do that. But that's all right. It's only like 11 days, and I'm sure we can do that in the 11 days. I don't know if he's younger. I think he is technically. I think they're the same age, so I'm probably gonna age him up whenever she has her birthday. I could just do that right now because I got the tree here. So let's just make him. I still need to change his name as well, but I'm recording this before I have checked for some comments under the last episode, the previous episode. So if you guys did leave me some last names or you didn't, feel free to do it. I really need them. Rosie, I'm not saying that Guy left it for her, but I think Guy is is he sloppy? Because he feels like a sloppy sim. Way more sloppy than she is for sure, but she's not upset about taking care of the household. She's actually very happy to do the household and for someone to be appreciated about it. And he's so nice to her. It's unreal. Like the basic things, the small things, the compliments, just small, nice gestures. She's just not used to him anymore. And she's still trying to get around to living with a man again. But she feels like he's really, 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 really trying to make her feel welcome, and in return she adds so much to his life, so much to his house. She is able to keep this house together a bit more than he could by himself. And of course Guy does, he does sometimes clean. Like I'm not saying he never cleans, but he doesn't clean as much as she does, and she's just really good at cleaning like her mother, keeping things tidy and maybe keeping him active and like on his toes. Maybe I don't think she considers herself as a maternal person. I do think she is, and I'm still having this weird bug with the cat litter box. But I have a tip for you guys. If you find that there's a bug where the cats cannot get on there or a sim cannot clean it, you have to download this litter box. That's got a color that we like. I think this would be, I mean, maybe not. Let's get a different color. This is an automated litter box. This is a mod, and you'll never have the problem again. Let me check it out for you guys. Let me see what it's called. It's called Self-Cleaning Litter Box from Fade Industries, and yeah, you can read this or pause the video if you want, but I would highly recommend that if you have that bug. I'm not sure why this bug exists. Also, did you're wait, you don't have work yet, sir? Get back into bed. I think he's probably come downstairs because he wants Rosie to join him, and he's like, babe, it's so late, come get in bed with me, you can clean in the morning. And of course she's like, okay, of course. Like, she has been up so much, she's not tired at all. I think just the switch, from her house to living with Guy and everything, the journey of healing oneself, it's a lot, but she's adjusting, she's trying to adjust, and I think they're doing amazing. While they're asleep, I want to show you guys just how much work and effort he's put into this. So he told her that she can paint as much as she wants and decorate a whole room full of her paintings. It doesn't matter to him if she has to cover every wall in the house with her paintings. As long as it makes her happy, he's willing to live with it. And I was like, oh my god, that's so romantic. Oh my god, we all need a guy like Guy. Then we didn't really have a spare room. I mean, we have this room, but these objects are kind of big and I didn't have another place for them. So I think this just has to be his music room. But we had the whole upstairs here that was really not used, and a guy said that it would be perfect for her stuff. So this is just her corner. He said she can decorate it however she likes, but she kept it pretty simple. All she really wanted was a place for her sewing, for some of her stuff that she's keeping underneath the desk. for, you know, a picture and a picture of herself and some of her achievements, a picture of her and her friend with her and Julie. Oh my god, it feels like ages ago. And then she wanted to display some of her stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't have any room downstairs, or would have put it downstairs. I think I could have put it maybe somewhere, but I think it's alright just keeping it upstairs. And then we have our easel downstairs. Oh, and also of course we have our hot tub. And there's still some snow on this lot, but it is spring, so that should be good. I'm curious how this relationship with the dog and the cats are gonna go. And also, where's my little baby? Oh, my little baby's in the doghouse outside. I did buy one for him. I'm not sure whether or not they're really vibing. I think because Lily is a kitten, they're willing to tolerate, or I think Otis is willing to tolerate the kitten, but he doesn't seem that happy with the cats too. Which is funny. I think that I bought Otis or adopted Otis after giving the cats back, because that would make much more sense as to why the dog hates the cat so much. He's just not used to it. He hasn't been brought up with any other pets anyways. He's never seen um, a kitten before, a cat before. He did get him from a rescue place, but they didn't really have much backstory on him, but it's quite clear that he was either not raised with cats or he just has, well, a really big dislike for cats. But I believe that they can be civil, and I'm just having Guy clean up in the meantime. I honestly I'd like to say that he is like he's able to take care of himself and he's willing to take care of himself, but Rosie's just there for the things that he either doesn't do properly, but the work that Rosie does for him, he's so appreciative of her because it makes his life so much easier. It's nice having a girl in your life. I'm telling you, like I would be the kind of girl, like I would love to clean your house, take care of your laundry, cook for you, clean for you, take care of your needs. Also, there's this. He has put two pictures of the cats right here in the living just for everyone to see. And here's our, I think we missing someone. I thought there was a pot here, but yeah, we got a little like section where there's like their first rose and a plant that was from our other house. It's like an apple. I don't know. It reminds me of like an apple tree. I know it's not, but it kind of looks like it. But yeah, this is our house. I'm so excited. Let me just give you a quick little. It's quite cute, isn't it? I love it. I honestly do. So he's gonna get ready for work, but before work, of course, he needs some he needs some exercise. Of course. Yeah. I mean, he's been holding back for all these years. So there is some frustration in there. There are emotions that need to be taken care of, they need to be unleashed, and yeah, they got all the time in the world and definitely all the money in the world at the moment. Like, she's definitely not poor. She's still making her own money. She works, but they're definitely like really well off together. Yeah, I'm happy for her. You go, girl. Though, of course, there is one thing that still needs to be addressed, and that is the secret she's keeping. But right now, that's not on her mind. She's not thinking about it whatsoever. Nope. All she's thinking about is a guy. And I wonder what kind of name would fit him. I wonder about that. I'm gonna quickly check up on the cats. So, of course, Libby is feeling sad because she's not getting enough attention. And I think the other cats, oh, I think I didn't add a scratch post. Oh, how extremely rude of me. I also didn't bring it from the other house, but I think I'll just add a cute little yellow one. Let's pop it down in here because I'm sure he's willing to share his space with a scratch post. So, oh god, I really like this house. Also, I saw something else that kind of bothered me earlier, that there was a pot that was left unfilled. There we go. That's cute. I like it. They're so cute together. They really are. Okay, one more smooch, and then I think what we need to do is give him a snack. He can have some cookies before work, and we're actually gonna have her get some cookies as well. Like I said, she's a changed woman, so now she allows herself to sometimes have a snack and worry a bit less about her appearance. And Guy is always telling her like how beautiful she looks and how nice it is to have her here and how much he loves her and just a million other things that you would never think this guy would say, but he does. He does say them. He's so sweet and so nice, and you can tell like he knows, he feels it. It's just her vibe, the energy that she's giving out, that she's still a bit unsure and that she's still sometimes maybe a little scared and hesitant to really be herself and to really trust him, but he knows it's going to take some time after everything she's been through. And if you guys are wondering like what the heck ever happened to Trevor, well, let's just say that when these two started like having more contact, he ended up just paying his brother a surprise visit one day, and I wouldn't necessarily say that he went as far to really like kick ass. I'm curious to see, did he just go upstairs? You know what, Sims pathing will always very interesting to say. Yeah, he did kick his brother's ass, and he really taught him a lesson. He understood the severity of the situation, and he ended up somehow, I don't know how he did it, but he ended up getting the money and paying her back. And he hasn't given her the money yet because he wants to do something nice with it. Because Rosie has said before that even though he took the money that she inherited from Danielle and from her work in other places, I don't even remember, but half of the money he stole from her. Where it came from, God knows. I just remember he took it, but because it's been so long and she's past it, she doesn't really need it anymore. So because of that, he is trying to keep it a secret for her and maybe buy something or use the money. It feels kind of weird though, because in one way it's like, well, if I take her money and spend it on something that I know she will like, it's technically like she still didn't get the money back, but I just spent her money a second time. Like her money was used a second time without, you know what I mean? Like, am I making sense here? I think I am, just wording it poorly like always. But at the same time, if he could just give it back, but that's like not as special. So maybe he's going to do something. I don't know. Should we do something special with the money? Should we keep it for a surprise? Like I said, he is wanting to surprise her. Maybe they should use the money to travel. That'd be nice, like a really long travel. Maybe he can. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm like, would he? Should we? I don't. Oh, this is cute. Mm. So Rosie has invited over her mother, and the only way for her to talk about Goldie is to invite her mother over or go to her house. But since she doesn't really feel ready to see her daughter, she figured it's better to invite her mom over. And if Guy finds out that she's been here, we'll just say that she's slowly trying to connect more with her mother, or she was curious about her living situation, or she just wanted to check up on her daughter. One of these excuses is going to work, and I'm sure he's not really going to think too much about it. But Rosie knows that she is here for another reason. And while she's baking this pie, of course, she's pondering life, because she just. Why did he come here? Oh, Pleb is here as well. I didn't really expect him to come as well, but I'm not complaining. Did we put this in the oven? Oh gosh. Wait. Let me just quickly do this and get our pie, because we spent so much time and effort in it. I really don't want to go to waste. I think we just got it just in time. Oh, it looks. I mean, it's a little brown, but I think it's still alright. I think it's just extra baked. It's extra good. Let's see if we're gonna come over here and get a piece, or just stop flirting. And why are you guys just? Could you maybe? Or y'all just wanna? And don't you dare sit there. I wanted to have a. I wanted to have a conversation with. Okay. Oh, that works. Well, thank you so much for coming. I didn't expect you to be here, but that's all right. I think she would be asking a bunch of questions about Goldie, but it's kind of awkward because, she. God, you're standing there so sassy. Look at the sassiness of her mother. Gosh, she looks great. The jeans run good in this family, I'm just saying. I think she would be asking her mother, some very basic questions. Let me quickly check when Guy is coming up. Okay, so we have like 3 hours, so we're gonna have to play this kind of slow, but yeah, how's Goldie been? Like, how's my daughter? Is she good? And of course, she's been good. And Pepper is excitingly telling her about like all these little milestones. She's potty trained. She can walk now, and she's starting to just say and speak in whole sentences, and she really can understand a lot. And she loves like dolls, and she really liked all the things that Rosie made for her. And there's a slight hint of a slight tone of I'm just make this. The cat is just. I'm gonna give the robot. Robot is on a cat duty right now because, you know, there is a slight tone of sadness in her voice because she does want to be a mother, but she doesn't really feel like she is one, and she wants the best for her daughter, but she knows that she's not really been there, and it's just hard to come back into someone's life, come back to a person that you're supposed to take care of, but you're never really taken care of, and now you kind of want to step up and be that person, but you just can't because it's been so long, you don't even know where to start. And I think this is the case for her. Why are we still in her outerwear? I just want to put her in something a little different. Let's put her in our casual wear. But yeah, it's like I said, it's been so long, it's been like, where do we even start? And Pepper's, of course, she's very excited to talk about her granddaughter, but there is also a little bit of sadness in her voice because also Pepper, why did you get inside? How did you get inside? She wants the best for her daughter, she wants her daughter to be happy, but she also wants her daughter to have a relationship with her daughter, and because of the relationship that this is this is awkward, not gonna lie. It actually happened. No, girl, you better. Where's she? Okay, well, let's just pretend that this is completely normal because I really cannot be bothered trying to set this up again. But basically, Pepper really wants the best for her daughter, and it saddens her to see the pain in Rosie's eyes. Can you, like, not get him? Okay, he really wants to be here right now. Like, he really wants to be in the picture. Fine, okay? It's a three-way conversation. Thank you for being here, for mentally supporting the both of us. In case something goes wrong, you can keep us back. I won't fight my mother. You can keep my mother from hurting me. Yeah, Rose is saying that she feels like she's been making a big mistake because she's here and she's engaged, and Pepper already knows these things because Rosie has told her, and they're like on really good terms right now, so they're very close actually. But Rosie's worried, and now she's crying. She's worried because she needs to tell Guy that he is the father, but she doesn't really know how to tell him this. How do you tell this guy that he's the father, that you've been keeping this from him? And Pepper understands and feels, and you have to stay here because you're in the conversation, whether you snap here or you play or whatever, as long as you're in the picture. Okay, we can at least pretend. But Pepper understands, and she gets it, and I think, like, oh god, so Guy's back as well. There's always so much happening, but I think Guy, since he is, coming back from work, we're just gonna have him come and take a bubble bath, maybe go to the bathroom, and then wait a minute, big moment. He has reached the top of his career. Oh my god, that's nice. And he brought over a friend. Yeah, because we need more Sims in his house. We definitely do. Where's Pepper? Oh, she's on the bathroom. Is there anything? Oh, why don't we just get into the hot tub then? Because there's nobody there. The fact that I have to send my Sims out in the freaking snow to sit in a hot tub because my Sims fiance came back from work, and the robot is always constantly there. And let me just get some private time, okay? Pepper understands, though. Pepper gets exactly what she means. And there is a part in Pepper that is hoping that she's going to reconcile and maybe take care of, her daughter. She wants this for her. She wants to have her daughter to have a relationship. She wants her daughter to have a relationship with her daughter. Rosie's unsure, saying, well, I haven't really been in her life, and I do have my things together now, and I didn't have it before, but I'm still hesitant. I feel hesitant. I want to spend time with my daughter, but I worry so much that I'm just not going to be a good mother. I'm going to make the same mistakes that you do. you know, hoping that her mother's not going to take this personal, but Pepper knows exactly what she means because even while raising Goldie, she's realized, yeah, I have done a lot of mistakes in my life. I have done a lot of things wrong, and, you know, I am doing these things differently. I'm doing things differently with Goldie. I'm treating her differently than I would have with, you know, with my own daughter, and you know, trying to trying to keep it lighthearted as well, making some jokes, splashing some water. But it is true, you know, she did treat Rosie a certain way growing up, and she does regret it. And I think in some moments like these, she is telling her daughter, "Hey, like I'm sorry for how I raised you. It wasn't necessarily the best, but I know you're not like me. I know you could be a good mother, and I don't want you to have a relationship like we have. I want us to be close, and we might never get to that point because of, you know, the things we've been through, but there's still time for you to do this with your daughter, and I would really want you to have that with your daughter." And there's always a third person, right, Otis? I said I was thinking in the challenge, like, whether or not I was going to add, whether I was going to, you know, keep Goldie from Rosie, because as part of the challenge rules, a part of the challenge, a part of the rules for the challenge, Pepper has to raise Goldie, and we can only really interact with her until Pepper has basically died. So we have to wait for her to pass out, and, well, pass out, but pass away, die, you know, explode, whatever, random combustion. But whenever that happens, that's when we can really have a relationship. But I don't know if I'm ready for that, because if I want Rosie to raise Goldie right now, that would mean that I would have to kill off Pepper. And I'm not sure if I want to kill off Pepper yet. Like, she's really not that old. I mean, yeah, she could pass out. I keep saying pass out. I don't know why I want her to pass out so much. She could explode at any second. But I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, if I'm wanting to get rid of her yet. I don't know if I'm attached or just don't think it's time, but I don't know. Do I want her to get back and have a good relationship with Goldie? I do, but do I think that right now is the right time? Maybe not. I do feel bad that she is not there to be there for Goldie and to see her in this crucial time of her life. Like, she's not here when Goldie is learning to talk and to, you know, eat by herself and take her first, or say her first words, you know, really developing her personality. Like, she's not there for her. She's not there to witness this. And that's something I really wanted her to have, but at the same time, maybe it's also a good thing, because imagine after everything she's been through, if she had raised her daughter when I'm just gonna make some food as well. If she had raised Rosie, I keep saying the wrong thing. I don't know what's wrong with me. Multiple things, actually, but, you know, none of them reflect my Sims, my Let's Plays usually. If she raised... Let me just quickly get rid of this because it really bothers me. If she had raised Goldie back when she was still really messed up, then I think her relationship would have maybe turned out similar to the one that she has with Pepper. If she were to take care of Goldie now, she's already a much better fit to be a parent. That doesn't mean that it's still wrong to, you know, lie to Guy, but that does mean that it is a good thing that they didn't raise her earlier. Like, and Pepper is a decent mother. Like, she's not a horrible person. I honestly believe, like, she is a better parent than she's ever been, and she's definitely very loving, and she just try her best. Like, she would never hurt Goldie. It's like, it's her only grandchild and it's her favorite grandchild, and like I said, she would never ever do anything to hurt her. But, you know, it's nicer being raised by your own parents. But anyway, there's obviously like a million thoughts I have about the situation, but Pepper knows exactly what she needs to do. And despite that this is not her business, Pepper is gonna make it her business, and she has a plan to stand up for her daughter. She has taken it upon herself to basically fix the situation. But in order for this to happen, she needs her daughter to take the first move. She needs to take the first step by herself. And if that happens tonight, I mean, I hope it does, because she has been, you know, really pushing her daughter to do the right thing and telling her, hey, like, we really should tell him today. And she wanted her mother to be there. She wanted her mother to be there because she has been the one raising her. I think a dinner is always a nice time, so we're just gonna do it over a bowl of whatever this is. Mac and cheese, maybe? Or some oats? I really don't know what this is. I think it's pasta. But yeah, so this is a really hard moment, and it's kind of awkward that there's so many people here and we're sitting in our bikinis, but Like, yeah, there's no easy way to do this. You know, guy, I have something to tell you, and this might come as a shock. And who the frick is this? But yeah, my daughter is your daughter. You're a father, and of course, that doesn't make sense to him. And he's just, you know, shoving his face full of mac and cheese, thinking like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't understand. It's like, please don't get mad, but remember the baby that I had with Trevor that I brought to my mom because, you know, it wasn't right for me to raise her. I wasn't able to take care of her, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't safe. Remember that baby? Yeah, she's actually not. She's actually not Trevor's. She's actually yours. And I think at first he doesn't really like it doesn't really catch him, you know what she says. I think he's trying to process it, and as she, you know, she has to go take a pee, of course she has to leave the situation. It's like he's thinking about it, right? He's like trying to process, like, okay, this is my daughter, but like how? He has like a million questions, and of course she's not here to answer them, but like we'll just pretend like she is. Trevor was actually not able to conceive any kids. We actually, funny enough, got him tested once because he had doubts that he was the father, and you know, we got him tested, and I just kind of messed with the results, and I never showed him, but yeah, he wasn't able to have kids, and also he wasn't the father. He never had like a good moment of, you know, like clarity, because usually he was like really messed up, but this time he actually used his brain, like the working cells that he had, which weren't many, but he had some working, and he came to the conclusion that it couldn't have been his kid, and it was true, it wasn't. But Rosie messed with the results and basically convinced him that he was the father. And she knows for a fact that even without a test, without even doing any kind of DNA test, that he is the father. There's no doubting it. The same eyes, the same hair, the same face. And she's never been with another guy. He's taking it pretty well, but I feel like underneath he is probably very confused and maybe very upset, and he feels like she has been kind of like lying to him and keeping this from him, and he's really upset actually, but he's very cool, he's very chill, like he's a very, how would I say this, a very chill person. He doesn't really necessarily raise his voice very much, but you know, she keeps on asking him and poking and, you know, I guess touching him where it hurts, and because of that he is losing his cool a little bit and telling him that he's actually really upset right now and he'd rather not talk, but you know what, let's do talk. You know what, because if I don't talk I never find out anything. Like, what do you mean I have a kid? How many years have you been hiding this from me? She's what, like 4, 5? It's like, how could you have kept this from me for so long? I have a daughter out there, don't you think I have a right to know? Like, why did you not tell me? And of course, like I said, these are really valid things. These are really valid feelings. Also, why does everyone hate the? Can you guys just stop for? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to do a little bit of like moving around because I'm getting annoyed with the cats. Just you can eat in that corner, and then we're gonna move one of these. No, not that. I want to move one of these upstairs actually. So they're having a full-on fight, and there's nothing that Pepper can really do at this moment. They just need to talk it out, and I think they would talk about like everything, like how long she's been hiding this, why she's been hiding this, and I don't think there's anything that she can really say right now that would make it any better. Like I said, Guy is a good guy, so he'd never hurt her, he'd never really raise his voice at her, he would try his best to understand her, but this comes as not really a shock, but as a, how would I say this? So he actually, in a plot twist, a twist of events, he did know that she was his daughter. How did he know this? Because he put two and two together, and there was no way that Goldie could look more like him than Trevor, because they're not related. And because they're not related, it was really easy for him to put two and two together. His suspicion that Goldie might have been his, but he thought that if that was the case, she would have told him. There's no way that she would hide such a big thing from him, and he feels like this is probably one of the biggest betrayals one can ever have, and he's thinking, you know, should I really have asked her to marry me? Should I really have, well, I invited her into my home? Like, what have I gotten myself into now? She doesn't even, it's kind of hard to put into words how he feels. And the worst thing is that he had a suspicion, but he never followed through with his suspicion because he believed her. He trusted her. He thought that she would never ever do such a thing, and instead she has done such a thing. And let's say that they've been arguing for all freaking night, and it doesn't actually happen this often, but Pepper is still here. She's giving Otis some love because for some reason he's been barking and yapping at everyone. But I actually want to go here, fill the bowl, and there's something else I want to do. Now, he is just trying to unwind, do his little thing in this corner. I wish Pepper would put on some clothes. That's maybe a little more appropriate when, I don't know, you're going to talk to your son-in-law. But I'm actually going to have her come over here. Hey, guy, there is something you need to know. And I'm not just saying this because I'm her mother, but because I really think you should know this. I understand that you're upset, and we've kept this secret from you for a long time. I knew as well that, you know, Trevor wasn't the father. I don't think she's ever really told me, but, you know, one look at that little girl's face, know that there's no way she's related to that monster. I know it's horrible, and I know you're hurt, and I know it's going to be hard to get past this, but you have to understand something. This little girl was born in a very difficult time, and when she needed her parents the most, she wasn't able to have them. She wasn't able to have stability, security, and emotionally invested parents because Rosie just couldn't be there for her, and Trevor would have never, ever been there for her. He never accepted her as his own. No matter what he might have told you, he would have never, ever accept. Can you just go somewhere? Like, what is wrong with people? Here, go sunbathe. Do something useful with your time. You know, when I took in Goldie, I told myself that I would protect her from everything and keep her safe until my daughter was ready to, you know, be a mother. But unfortunately, everything got so much more complicated, and we actually wanted to tell you so much sooner. We wanted to include you into her life. We wanted to involve you. We wanted to tell you, but everything was just so chaotic, and there was a time where I didn't speak to my daughter. I didn't know she was alright, and then the abuse with Trevor and the domestic violence, it just made everything so unsafe. And then, I know you don't know this, but Trevor, he actually, well, he kind of threatened the life of the child. We weren't sure what was going to happen, and we thought it would be better if she stayed away from the child so that Trevor wouldn't be able to find the kid. Because, you know, guys, I'd actually have to cut myself here for a second because I don't remember whether or not Trevor knew that, you know, Pepper was raising the child, but we're just gonna lie here and say that, you know, in the case of you know, this video, for the sake of this video, Pepper's telling Guy that he didn't know that she had Goldie, that Rosie had told him that she had brought the kid to someone that can raise them, or put it up for adoption, whatever. She's just coming up with something in the moment, and she's saying that he didn't know that she had Rosie's kid. They're trying to keep the kid safe, and if they had told him where, you know, Goldie was, then he would have wanted to be a part of her life. But if he was a part of her life, then there would be a chance that Trevor would find out, and things would get so much more complicated. And they thought that the only way to protect the child was to wait for Goldie to be a little older, for them to figure out a situation on how to keep the kid safe, and things would have been so much more complicated had Guy known and tried to be a father. And even Rosie, like, of course she wants to be a mother, but she couldn't. It was just not, it wasn't safe. They had to protect, and she's very happy that Guy knows because she's been really wanting him to know and to find out. And she understands that she understands that he's upset and that it's a hard thing to swallow, but that he should try and see from a different perspective and understand that what her daughter went through was a lot. She you know, went through abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, domestic violence is no joke. And then she lost her daughter, and you know, she had this eating disorder and like depression and everything else, and it took her so long to get her life back. And she took a risk to tell him this despite knowing that he would be hurt, but that it would still be better for him to finally find out and to be hurt than for him to never find out. And that it's never a good thing to lie to somebody, and that they definitely don't have an excuse other than this was all for her safety. And you know, she hopes that their love is strong enough to get through this. And yeah, honestly, this is like such a touching moment. I never would have expected Pepper to really put it like this, but I think it does make a lot more sense when you try and think of it from that perspective. Like, I definitely think, at least. And we're actually gonna go ahead and you invited me to spend the night, but you didn't let me get any sleep. I'm leaving. Okay, so Pepper's like, okay, I've said enough now. Goodbye. I'm out. So yeah, this actually gives us some time. So I'm just gonna have, actually, wait a minute. I need to say goodbye to everyone. Let's just say that the two of them are gonna have a little conversation before we end the episode. I think it's gonna take way too long. I understand if you don't want to marry me. And he's thinking about it and saying that he does want to marry her, but it's going to take some time to really, you know, let this sink in. And Rosie says that she would love to marry him, but that she is very sorry that she never shared this with him, and that he means the world to her. He's like, yeah, you mean the world to me, but, you know, you really did hurt me with this, but you also, I know you didn't really have a choice. I've talked to your mom and she explained everything, so you don't even need to tell me. You know, I understand that you went through a lot and that it was in the best interest for our daughter. It's just kind of hard to swallow this pill to, you know, realize that in order for our daughter to be safe, I had to be unaware that she was even alive, and that's very painful. And I worry about the relationship with my daughter because I don't have one, and now I have to face the reality of being a dad, but still not being a dad, and maybe never being a dad, and not having the chance of ever being a dad. It feels kind of robbed for me. It feels like I really wanted to be a parent, but I never really had a chance to be one. And to find out that I have a kid that I missed a chance out on, that I missed a chance to be a parent on, that I didn't know of, that I could have been a parent for, it just hurts. And Rosie's just like thinking, like, what? She's like, you've spoken to my mom? He's like, yeah, look, I really don't want to really talk about it anymore, but maybe we can talk about it tomorrow. Maybe we can talk about it some other days. I just really need to let it sink in. But I am very proud of you, though. It's like, proud on what? Like, what did I do? It's like, you carried it with you. You carried this with you for so long, and you kept our daughter safe, and that's the most important to me. You have hurt my feelings, and it will be hard to get through this, but I do love you a lot, and you haven't had it easy, and I know that you've done everything you could to protect our girl, and you've done a great job because she's still safe, and from what your mom tells me, she's a really, really beautiful little girl that's gonna do great in this world, and it's gonna go big places, and she has it all thanks to you. Okay, I'm being too fucking cheesy, but love it. We need a good cheese in our life. Anyway, it's probably gonna take some time for them to, you know, really get past this issue, but the fact is, he didn't flat out reject her. He did actually, like, he didn't flat out reject her. Sure, he's angry, he's upset. Can you imagine? Can you forgive him? Can you forget? What was the, can you blame him? That's the word I'm looking for. Can you blame him? No, you can't. There's no way. Now let me just check, because I feel like the cats are always up to something. Nobody's ever playing with this little kitty. God, okay, you know what? I think she just needs to grow up because she's gonna be freaking unhappy forever. Anyway, I am actually gonna end this episode here. I am gonna think about it. Oh, lots of friends. I'm gonna have to think about it for a little bit, for a couple of days, of what am I gonna do. First of all, what are we gonna change this guy's last name to, because this one is just a no-go. And then I also need to think about what I am going to do about Goldie. Are we going to keep her at Pepper's house? Are we gonna slowly going to introduce them? Are we going to really stick to the rules? I mean, I kind of don't want to, but you know, I mean, I break the rules all the time. You guys can tell that by the state of every video, but we'll see. I'm curious to what you guys think, and I'll definitely see you all in the next video. Bye.